I'm currently a staff nurse deployed in the surgical ICU, so we deal with patients with life-threatening conditions. Being a nurse is more than just cleaning up a patient, changing diapers, feeding the patient, and so on. We are also trained in doing emergency dialysis, prepare and administer life-saving medication, required to know how to manipulate the ventilators. Especially in the critical care setting, a nurse has more responsibilities. I was in the orthopedic surgical ward when I first started out. I mostly deal with bone fractures, so deaths are not so common. But when it came to ICU, it was a struggle for me to get used to seeing death in a more frequent rate. There are moments when we have to withdraw life support. That decision comes after extensive tests done by our doctors. The first few times that I had to do it, it was really tough. I was struggling with a lot of emotions. Sometimes it would take a while to get over those feelings. But as time goes by, I learned how to compartmentalize my emotions. Being a patient advocate, it is my duty also to follow their wishes and to ensure the minimal amount of suffering for a patient. Nursing is a career where it can be mentally and physically exhausting, and it can be tough to maintain a work-life balance. It's difficult for me to be around my family on certain weekends. Sometimes I have to work night shift, long shifts where I don't see them the entire day until nighttime. But there are pros to it also. My son being in childcare, he does have certain days where he doesn't have school. I can be off on that day, so I can bring him out. Back in my previous job, I used to bring back a lot of work. But in my current role as a staff nurse, work is work, family time is family time. Me and my son are close, even though I'm doing shift work. Because he also seems to treasure the time that we have together. As with any job, there are days where the job is good. And there are days where it makes you question why you are in this job in the first place. It was really tough. But at the end of the day, when you weigh those good days and bad days, and you bring in the intention of why you're in the job in the first place, you will realize that you're doing your best to serve the purpose you have in your life, which is to help people as much as possible. I once had a patient who collapsed, and then he had to go down to the ICU for an emergency tracheostomy. Because of the tracheostomy, he couldn't speak. At that time, we couldn't really tell him when he can recover his voice again. A few months later, one of my friends called me, say, "Hey, Mr. So-and-so is back." And then he just wanted to thank all of us. He specifically asked for you. During my break, I ran up, then I met him. But I was so surprised to see that the tracheostomy is gone and he's finally speaking again. That was a really emotional part of my life. Before I entered the nursing industry, I was in the tourism industry for about 8 years. One day, a guest collapsed and I had to step in to resuscitate him. My heart was throbbing, adrenaline was pumping, and that's when I realized that maybe there's more to life than just this current role that I'm doing in the tourism industry. There is this program called the Career Conversion Program, where individuals can perform a switch from one industry into nursing. The decision to take up the mid-career switch program was daunting for me, especially since 1 month before my course started, my son was born. But this monthly study allowance that we receive has made such a big contribution to our financial burdens that without it, we wouldn't even be in this course. Raising a young family isn't easy, especially as a student, but there are schemes that helped a lot. For example, the working mother subsidy, because my wife is also working full-time. There are baby bonus schemes, CDC vouchers, GST refunds, and of course like childcare subsidies. I am a parent of a 5-year-old boy. I do have more of an incentive to think about my future. Even though I'm a mid-career switch individual, I came in with many more years of experience as compared to my peers. I can take the experience that I have from my previous job and apply it to this current job. Career building and career development doesn't take a back seat.